Hello and welcome to Perfect Opacity. Today you're going to learn how to create an amazing church poster that can be used to publicize a church event. So what you do is that I'm going to be leaving links for the resources that I'm going to be using, and for the photos, for the logos, and so on and so forth. Please follow through. I'll try to be as precise as possible. So hop on, please make sure you subscribe on this channel so that you can be in a position to make more videos. Okay, so what you do is that you're going to hop over to Photoshop. You're going to go to new, and you want the size of 1000 width, and then the height you're going to give it around 1300. It's going to be a portrait, so that's okay. Perfect. So you're going to double click this layer to unlock it. Then the next thing that we're going to do is that we want to give our poster, you see this serrated edge over here. So that's the first effect that we're going to create. So what you do is that I'm going to come over to have this serrated image. I'm going to drag it over to my poster outline. That way I've created or rather I've dropped a link for this serrated edge if at all you'd like to have it for you. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to this background. I'm going to also leave a link on how you can access it, and I'm going to drop it on my image like that. So I'm going to hit Ctrl T. I want to resize this image, this background. Perfect. So just enlarge here, and that's okay. So I'll come over to this layer, the one for the serrated edge, and I'm going to click. I'm going to make a copy. Hit Ctrl J. I'll show you what we're going to do with this copy layer. I come over to this background. I'm going to right click, and then I'm going to create a clipping mask. And you're going to have that effect. Awesome. So now I'll come over to this copy for the serrated edge that I had made, and what I'm doing, I'm going to click on it. I come to the color overlay, and then for the color I want to sample any of these colors. I think I can go with this purplish outline, and I'm going to say okay. And then still on this serrated layer, the lower one, I'm going to hit the lower arrow. You can see we have our layer there. Still on this layer, I hit Ctrl J. I create another copy. I still come to this original layer, which is now beneath. I double click on it, and then I want to have more of a light grayish outline. Yes, I'm going to use the down arrow. Not clearly visible, so I'm just going to change to make it a little bit darker. Yeah, something like that. Come over to this layer, the one which has a bluish purplish effect. I'm going to hide it a bit. Come over to this other one. So all I'm doing is just moving it up and down until you have an effect that you so desire. Again, this is based on your creativity. So there we have our background. It's amazing. So what I'll do is that I'm going to come over, I click on this lower layer, and the upper one I hold shift to select all of them, and then I'll hit Ctrl G to create a group, and then I'm going to name these background, which is a very good practice because you normally realize that a poster has so many layers, and it's good to group them so that you don't get mixed up. So we have our background, which is this one. That's amazing. The next thing you're going to do is that you want to work on this word worship. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to come over to our layout. I go to the text tool, and then I'm going to type worship. It's going to be in caps. Then I hit Control A to select. I'm going to be using a typo longest demo font for this. Perfect. I'm going to hit Control T, and then I'm going to enlarge. I'm going to enlarge the word there. Then I hit Control A. Then I want to use bold. So this is okay. So still on this word, I'm going to hit Control T. Then what I'll do, I'm going to resize this word. Perfect. So we have worship, and then what I'll do is that I'm just going to hit Control J to create a copy, but I'm going to deactivate it. Perfect. So I right click on this text layer, I convert to shape, I right click again, then I'm going to rasterize this layer. Still on this layer, I'll come to the lasso tool, and then what I'm going to do is that I'm going to come over here. I'm going to make a selection. Sorry, let me just go a bit lower. Click there, I go a bit down. Just want to give this layer an effect. Once that area is selected, I'm going to hit delete. Then I hit Control D, and you have that line. You can see that we are coming closer to this effect. Very nice. So the next thing I want to add these. If you look at this image, you see you have the light and you have the dark areas. Now to achieve that effect, you're going to be using the curve effect. So I come over to new adjustment layer, and then I come to curves with RGB option selected. I'm going to come over to this corner, and I'm going to increase the intensity there, make it light enough. Perfect. Come over to this mask over here on this layer mask thumbnail, and then you hit Control I to inverse, and we have our original outline. And then come over on this left bottom area, make sure you have white over black, and then come over to brush tool, make sure you have selected the soft round, and then you're going to come and make some click over there, make some highlight. What it's basically doing, it's highlighting the curve, the light effect that we had just created. So any area that we click on, we're able to reveal what we have underneath. Again, just create the lighting effect based on your desire. And again, like I normally say, it's purely based on your creativity. So you have such an outlook. Perfect. I think I love it. So next we come to add this text experience. So I'm going to come over to text layer, and then I click on it, hit Control A, and then you type experience. It's a worship experience poster, and then we're going to be using the font called Athenia. Then I hit Control T. We shall enlarge. This like that. We'll place it there. Now what you will do is that you're going to give this a different color. I prefer a shade of gold will do for me, for it to simply stand out. Again, when you contrast your colors within a poster, it creates a nice effect. But again, you have to make sure that the colors that you use, they complement each other, but they don't crash each other out. That's okay. I think I'm good with that. Next, I'm going to add a drop shadow, and I'm going to use a black color like that, and then I'm going to increase distance. You can do a bit around 4 size. Spread, going to increase. Like that, and then I can just reduce opacity. All I want is the letter, or rather the wording experience. All I want it is to stand out. Something else we can do to this worship letter is that we can add some gradient effect on it. Now what I'll do, I'll just double click, come over to gradient overlay, which is over here, and then let's play around with reflected. I think I love the effect of reflected. Then we click on this, click on this tab, and then color. I want to have a more of a lighter shade than what was previously. It's striking through, and I love the way it's complementing the curve effect that we had added. Perfect. I think I love so far the outline. The next thing we're going to do is that we're going to add a title over here. I'm going to come up with a name for the church. You can call it Life. So the font is going to be Calibri. Something else I'll do is I'm going to add a logo, so I have it in my folder. Just drag it over there. I had made this one earlier on, so if you're making for a church and they have a logo, you may have to request for it. There you have the logo sitting there nicely. Again, we'll put more wording for this poster to communicate Life Ministries International. I'm going to write invites you for for this you're going to use Eras Light ITC. It's okay. I'm going to enlarge these a bit. So we normally use different fonts and sizes so that to avoid monotony whenever a person is reading your poster. So Life Ministries International invites you for, let me add invites you for a worship experience. And then the next thing, so what you do again, you're going to group this together. We're going to call these we hit Control G. We're going to call this text. We're going to call this header text. That way you can see how my work is neat and organized. Awesome. So the next thing you're going to do is that you're going to add a theme. I'm going to use white font, so that's okay. Yeah, I can put this one on top of this layer. Like that. So I'm going to give it Calibri. That's the font for the theme. And I'll give the theme Goodness of God. Then the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to add scripture, Psalm 27 verse 13, and the font you're going to use is Gabriola something, Gabriola. So there we have it. Let me enter. I highlight this, then I'm going to place it at the center like that. So you have a theme, and then I think I can highlight this. It's still going to be remaining the same, so that's okay. So you have theme Goodness of God, Psalm 27 verse 13. Perfect. I think I can lower this a bit. So what I'll do is that I'm going to group this, hit Control G, and I'll call this theme. Sorry, give it theme. Perfect. So the next thing we're going to do is that you're going to create highlight the date. So I'm going to come to the next tool, text tool, and then I'm going to type text. I'm going to give it Sunday, and I want my text to be in black. And I want it to be in caps, Sunday. And so I come to another text tool, assuming it's going to be 30th. So this one for font, we are going to give it can do Arial, or we can do Times New Roman. Times New Roman. I hit Control T and I want to enlarge. Again, the date that you give out has really to stand out, because you want, by the time a person looks at your poster, all the information they need has to be at their fingertips, at their display. So 30, and then you'll going to add a TH for it to read 30th. So you make sure that the Times New Roman is regular, like that. And then the month, you're going to give it August, and then the year 2023. You can shorten this one to OG 2023. So I'm going to highlight the text. I want to give it a Calibri font, and I can give it bold because I want the month to stand out. Next, we're going to add the time. Remember, time is also very important. So then what I'll do is that I'm going to underneath the time I'm going to create underneath the time I'm going to create a rounded rectangle, and I'll show you what you're going to do with it. So I'm going to right click, double click, and I want to give it a red color. Perfect. So I'll just come over back to the time text, and I want to change the font to white again for my time to stand out. Yeah, so far so good. I'm going to push this up a little bit to create some space. I am going to also to center it. Perfect. So there we have our time, and then I'm going to highlight and create this into a group. Hit Ctrl G. I'm going to call it date time. So there we are. My poster is well organized. The next thing we need to add to our poster is the venue where the event is going to be. So come to your text. Then I'm going to pick a random address, Southeast Street. Then you highlight the text. I'm going to use the Arial font, and I want to have it in regular. So reduce this one a bit like that. Then of course I have to add the text to venue. Control A. The font that I'm going to use is Stone, something like that. Let me see from my list. One Dalestone. It's going to be the title for my venue. Control T. Then I'm going to enlarge a bit there. The venue. I'll make it big to stand out. So there we have the venue. Let me add column like that. So that's so good. If you're enjoying this video and you have not subscribed, please go down there, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Lastly, let me call this the venue. Hit Control G. I'm going to call it the venue. Very well organized layers to avoid confusion. So the last thing we're going to do, we're going to add the social handles. For those icons, I've already put down a link. You can get these logos from FreePix, but again, in case you're publishing your work online, you need to acknowledge the publishers or the authors or the creators. So just go over to FreePix, sorry, and you're going to get that link. So here I'm going on to add 3. I'm going to add Facebook, I'm going to add YouTube, and I'm also going to add Instagram social handles. So I have my logo somewhere here. So you head on over to the PSD that we've downloaded, and from this group you can see all these social handles. So what I'll do, I'll click to the Facebook. I want to start with it, and then I'm going to go and drag it over here, Control T, then I'm going to resize. And then I'm going to type, I'm going to call it life. Control T, then enter. I believe you can make this one a bit bold for it to stand out. Big bold is okay. Make it a little bit bigger. So next one is going to be YouTube again. Perfect. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe and share this video to enable us to make more such videos. Thank you very much.